up, guys? EJ here, back with another video. Happy 4th of July, of course. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day off. Celebrating Independence Day, going to barbecues and whatnot. But yeah, today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD update for July 4th, 2016. Basically, my June update stuff I picked up this past month. I've got 10 films to show you, all from 2014. No messing about on today's update. All just 10 movies, no TV shows. I'm almost at the end of my 2014 wish list, which is good. But yeah, very much a animated slash family slash fantasy, a little bit sports movies thrown in there in this update. So yeah, 10 films to show you. Let's get to it. So up first we have Big Hero 6, directed by Don Hall and Chris Williams. Yeah, Oscar winner for Best Animated Film of 2014. Very good movie. Very heartwarming tale about a young boy, an inventor, who looks up to his brother, but then tragedy strikes at the school that they're both going to, and then he takes over after his brother and stumbles upon his invention, Betamax, the cleaning robot, or healthcare robot, I think it is. And then he teams up with his other nerdy friends to fight this villain who's trying to destroy this futuristic city named San Tokyo or something. San Francisco, sort of a mix of San Francisco and Tokyo. Yeah, really good film. Liked it a lot. I didn't think it was the best animated film of 2014, but it was pretty close. I think it was probably my second favorite animated film of that year. Yeah, very heartwarming tale. Great, beautiful looking animation. Good voice cast. Big Hero 6. Alright, moving on to another animated film from 2014, and that's How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yeah, I was a huge fan of the first How to Train Your Dragon. It was my favorite animated film of 2010, even more so than Toy Story 3. This film directed by Dean DeBlois, or DeBlois. Yeah, really a very good film as well, but not as good as the first one, I thought. In fact, I think the first one is some of the best use of 3D in any movie to date, animated or not. At the time, I was blown away by the 3D, the use of 3D in that film. Still a good, fun film. Lots of the voice cast return. Jay Baruchel, Gerard Butler, Craig Ferguson, Cate Blanchett, to name a few. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2, still a very good movie, but not as good as the first one. Alright guys, moving on to a film that I thought was the best animated film of the year, and that is, of course, the Lego Movie. Fantastic, fun, really wacky and zany film. Of course, had to pick up the Everything is Awesome edition because, of course, the song Everything is Awesome was awesome from the Lego Movie. So much fun, really crazy cool film. I liked it a lot, enjoyed it immensely, and I thought it was better than Big Hero 6. Yeah, about a construction worker, Lego figure who, of course, teams up with he's prophesized to be special and help save the Lego universe, and he teams up with a bunch of different figures. Of course, Batman was terrific and voiced by Will Arnett. Yeah, great voice cast. People like Will Ferrell, Elizabeth Banks, Alison Brie, Jonah Hill, who also was the voice in How to Train Your Dragon 2. Morgan Freeman is Vitruvius, who, of course, the edition comes with the Vitruvius figure. Yeah, loads of fun. Absolutely enjoyed the heck out of it. I was a big fan of Legos when I was a kid. I used to collect them and build stuff when I was a young kid, and but back when I was a kid, Legos weren't as sophisticated as they are now. yeah, all the different variations of Legos that you can buy these days, like the different styles, like Harry Potter and Ninjaku, whatever the hell it's called. I was always a big fan of the Knights one, the ones that came with like the guys with the helmets and the swords and bows and arrows, kind of Robin Hood, King Arthur type of stuff, which I loved growing up as a kid. So I was a big fan of those. I had some of those, but yeah, I don't know. There's like 20, 30 different variations of Lego these days, and I haven't collected them in a long time. Star Wars and so on. But yeah, whenever I see them advertised, I always notice like Harry Potter and Star Wars themed Legos. But yeah, the Lego movie was a blast from beginning to end, and I thought it was the best animated film of 2014. Alright, moving on to another good film that I enjoyed a lot, and that is Maleficent. Directed by Robert Stromberg. Yeah, sort of a precursor to the classic Sleeping Beauty story. Um, yeah, Angelina Jolie plays Maleficent, who starts out as a good fairy, but she turns vengeful and she curses a young princess played by Elle Fanning. Yeah, really good performance by Angelina. Always good as a villain. Great costume for her and role for her to chew the scenery. Not the best of these recent live action Disney movies that we've had. Sort of taking classic Disney products that we've had. I haven't seen the Jungle Book, the new Jungle Book, but I hear it's really good. I was a big fan of Cinderella from 2015, and this is of course sort of a precursor to Sleeping Beauty, like I said. But yeah, Maleficent, pretty good film. Yeah, Elle Fanning, very good. Shelto Copley's in it as well. Hoping to get the slipcover for this. I always like to have my slipcovers for all my movies, but unfortunately, this edition, which I ordered from DisneyMovieClub.com as well, did not come with a slipcover, so I was kind of pissed about that. But anyway, that's Maleficent. Alright guys, moving on. I also picked up Million Dollar Arm, your typical Disney sports movie from the same people who brought us Remember the Titans and Miracle, two terrific sports movies that I like a lot. Miracle more so than Remember the Titans. Anyway, yeah, this film directed by Craig Gillespie stars John Hamm as a sports agent who takes on the strategy of bringing young cricketers to pitch and play Major League Baseball. So of course he goes to India to recruit two talented young kids to come over to the States. Yeah, your typical uplifting Disney sports film, sort of a fish out of water story as well. Other people in the cast include Lake Bell, Bill Paxton, Alan Arkin. Not the best Disney sports film, Million Dollar Arm, but still a good film. I liked John Hamm's performance, and I liked the whole. Because I used to play cricket as well back as a child, as a kid back in England. The whole cricket juxtaposed against being a baseball pitcher, I found pretty interesting. So that's a Million Dollar Arm. All right, moving on to. The next one, the Muppets Most Wanted. Was a huge fan of the Muppets from I think 2012, a couple years ago. Yeah, that was a really terrific film. This one, directed by James Bobbin, not as good as the first film. Still a big fan of the Muppets, going back, of course, to the 70s and 80s. Yeah, just great seeing Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy and the whole gang and all that kind of stuff. But what I really liked about the first Muppets movie from a couple years ago was Jason Segel wrote that film, and it really showed in the screenplay of that film. And of course, he starred in it alongside Amy Adams. Yeah, this one not as good. Still loads of fun. Ricky Gervais, good as a dastardly villain. Ty Burrell from Modern Family and Tina Fey. Enjoy both of them very much. But yeah, Muppets Most Wanted, still good fun, but not as good as the first one. Alright guys, moving on. I picked up Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. Of course, the third installment of the Night at the Museum series, starring Ben Stiller. Yeah, this film directed by Sean Levy. Not as good as the first two. Kind of tired at this point, but yeah, Ben Stiller, of course, plays the security guard. This time he travels to England to work at the British Natural History Museum, which I've been to on numerous occasions. Yeah, great place to go if you're interested in history and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, still fun time. Sad. I think this is one of the last films Robin Williams made, who of course stars as Teddy Roosevelt. You've got people like Rebel Wilson, who seems to be everywhere at the moment. Yeah, I watched at least a couple films in the past few weeks that she stars in right now. I do enjoy the the banter between Owen Wilson and Steve Coogan, who play Jedediah and Octavius. Yeah, still good fun. Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. Alright, moving on to another animated film from 2014. We have Penguins of Madagascar. Of course, the super spy penguins from the Madagascar films. Skipper, Kowalski, Rico, and Private get their own movie. Of course, the Minions from the Despicable Me films got their own movie. It stood to reason that the penguins from the Madagascar films would get their own film as well. Yeah, directed by Eric Darnell and Simon J. Smith, I think. Yep. Yeah, loads of fun. To be honest, I've never been a fan of the Madagascar films. I don't own any of them. Not a fan of them at all, to be honest. The only things I ever did like about those films was the penguins. So when they made a solitary movie for those guys, I was like, yep, I'm gonna watch that, enjoy that, and probably pick it up. So that's why I did. Penguins of Madagascar. Alright guys, moving on. Another sports movie I picked up, and that is When the Game Stands Tall. Yeah, directed by Thomas Carter, starring Jim Caviezel as legendary high school football coach Bob Ladouceur, who led the De La Salle high school football team in the mid-90s, early 2000s, to a 151 game winning streak. Yeah, De La Salle High School is a high school in Northern California here, near Oakland in Concord. Yeah, I was very aware of this streak while it was happening because I finished high school in 1995 here in the South Bay, and De La Salle High School football was like every Friday night there was a football show, high school football show on local sort of cable TV around here, and I'd watch highlights of the local high school football teams, and they always showed De La Salle winning, crushing opponents. Yeah, so it's an interesting story. Not a great film. Again, your typical sports movie. Not as sort of saccharine as your Disney sports movie like I remember it now, $1 Million Arm from earlier on. But still a good film if you like sports movies and football movies. Michael Chiklis is in the film as well. Who else? Alexander Ludwig and Laura Dern, who plays Jim Caviezel's wife in the film. Yeah, When the Game Stands Tall. If you like high school football, definitely worth checking out. Good movie. Alright, last but definitely not least, we have a sort of more of a fantasy film as opposed to animated or sports, and that is Winter's Tale, written and directed by Akiva Goldsman, starring Colin Farrell, Russell Crowe, and Jessica Brown Finley. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Sort of an all-over-the-place film. It's sort of set in turn of the century in New York. Colin Farrell plays a burglar who discovers he has the power of reincarnation, and then he falls in love with a beautiful heiress played by Jessica Brown Finlay, who dies in his arms while he's being chased through the city by Russell Crowe. Yeah, sort of an interesting fairy tale. Not a fantastic movie, not a great movie, but I still enjoyed it. I like the look of this film. I like the actors in it. I thought Jessica Brown Finlay was beautiful, stunning in this movie, and always been a fan of Colin Farrell and Russell Crowe. So that is Winter's Tale. So there you have it. 10 films, all from 2014. Let me know what you think of these films. Very much a family animated fantasy update. So yeah, my next Blu-ray DVD update that I'm planning on doing later this month, will finish my 2014 wish list, and then I can finally move on to buying films from 2015, because obviously I'm behind most of you people who probably already have bought some films from 2016. But anyway, thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bond. James Bond.